I don't know if the fan is going to annoy us, but if I don't have it on, I'll die. You don't want me to die, do you? So, I had this dream last night, and I want to talk about it because it was really weird. Well, I mean, it's a dream, and not whoever heard of a normal dream. Um, I was walking down the road in the dream. I was walking down the road, and there was like this woman and her kid like crossing the road my way, and they were both like, "Oh, hey Giles, how you doing?" And like it was irregular for several reasons. Like I didn't recognise her at all, um, and she was completely bald, and so was her kid. And like I sort of like stuttered, like sort of like trying to work out who she was or anything. And the kid just sort of like goes, "Shall we do this later?" And I was like, okay. I'll message you on Facebook, I said. Because I just sort of assumed, I was like, I must know you on Facebook, maybe. And so, this is all in the dream, by the way. I get home, and I just start looking through my friends list on Facebook, and I'm looking for bald women. I'm like, where are the bald girls? Like, I'm like, surely if there's a bald woman in my friends list, she'll stand out a mile, won't she? She'll just be like, I don't know any bald women. So this is, hence why it stands out that I'm go home and I'm like, that was unusual, bald woman. Um, but yeah, I couldn't work it out, and then like. And then, like, I woke up and I sort of reflecting on the dream. First of all, it was one of those horrible. It's one of those horrible. I thought it was real dreams. So the first thing I do, I wake up and I'm like, do I still have to look for bald women? Like my hand goes for the phone, but I just managed to stop it in time because I realised. No, that was a dream. I'm quite sure that didn't happen. And it was only then the penny dropped that like the amount of social faux pas I had amounted during this dream. It made me realise, because, socially awkward, anxiety, all that sort of stuff. It's like my brain dealt me a what if last night, just to see how I would react. Like I am the lab rat of my own mind. I am the social study, the experiment, and my own brain is the doctor that is observing me. Just sort of like, let's see what would happen if we run a simulation of a bald woman and her bald child saying hello to Giles. Because the thing is, like in the dream, one of my first fears immediately was she seems to know me quite well. Well, she's acting like she knows me quite well. I've no idea who she is. What if this is like a good friend of mine and I've just like half-assed a hello, and or what like I don't recognise her because she's bald. like if she, because people look very different when they're bald. Have you seen Bill Bailey recently? But like I was like, but as well, why would you go bald? Why would you? Actually, why? What is the most common reason for women going bald? Because women don't often willingly shave their heads. I mean, there is like female pattern baldness. It is a thing, but it's not that prevalent in society. And this one was completely bald, like completely bald, like as in they probably wouldn't let her go down a slip and slide because she'd make a sonic boom happen. That kind of bald. But, and I mean like eyebrows and everything. I don't know why I say everything, like she's got a beard too. And like, but yeah, like I was like, whether there's, straight off the bat, there's 3 reasons I can think of for being that bald. 4 if you're counting Olympic swimmer, because you want to go fast. Alopecia, cancer, or joining a cult. Those are the only 3 reasons I can think of for going that bald. Because like when like people go bald, their eyebrows don't fall out. Well, but then I was like, well then, what if she was like seriously ill? And just in that because honestly, I think as a simulation, I think the dream portrayed a very authentic situation. A very how I reacted to this person in this dream is very much how I would have reacted in reality. I can look at this, how I behave in this dream, and go, yeah, no, that's accurate. That is, I do not disagree with how I acted in that dream. That is what Giles would do. But then I'm like, like, if you see someone that was that bald, that suddenly, well, then again, I suppose in the dream I didn't know how sudden it was, because this is a person that I did work out in, it's somewhere between in the dream and waking up. I did work out who it was, which stupefied me even more, because it turned out to be someone I knew way back in secondary school, and to say who it was would be utterly irrelevant. Like, it's genuinely, it's a person I have not thought about since secondary school, and even then I was barely thinking about them. Like, this is like less than an acquaintance. It's like my brain, it might be all part of the simulation, all part of the test. My brain just extracted an absolute random person from memory, fabricated a child for them, and made them bald, and was just like, what's Giles making of this? This'll baffle him. But like, I was like, I didn't ask how she was. I didn't express any confusion about how bald she was. I didn't want like, oh, what's happened to you? It's just like, you're bald. This is weird. I don't know why. And like, I was like, well, if I get home and I go to message this person, as I said I would, I don't even think I have them on Facebook. What the hell do I say to them? And do I continue to ignore the fact that they're bald? Like, I'm just sort of like, so, how you doing? Sorry to hear you're bald. Or unless you want to be bald, in which case, well, I'm not sorry. Well, I mean, I'm not. You wanted to be bald. You're bald. No big deal. But what if it's a horrible illness? And she's like, well, he obviously doesn't give a fuck about me, like I've literally lost all my hair. Like, I look like Mr. Clean, and he's not even concerned slightly. Because I mean, if I'm not making it clear enough, I do have I have quite serious problems when it comes to It's to do with, like, we've spoken on this channel a fair bit about autism and stuff like that. I do have these empathetic blind spots. And don't get me wrong, it inspires me to write some great comedy. But the reality of it is that I'm often left like going, could I have done more in this situation? And I think it's that at the back of my head, which is why my brain is like, all right then, let's see what he makes of, 2 bald chicks. But I don't know. I'm just sort of like, what would have been the right way to handle that? Because if someone's got an ailment, you don't want to like. I mean, I'll tell you something. You may or may not know this. I broke my foot. My foot's been broken for like 6 weeks now, and it's nearly better now. I'm out of the boot now, but I'm still can't do stairs that well. But I'm thinking about that, and I'm like, the funny thing about breaking your foot, despite the fact that I am a person that loves talking about every little thing that happens to me in my life. You know, I'm the sort of person that sometimes bad things are a good thing for me because it gives me something to talk about. You know, it's like, oh no, you know. A Concorde engine fell off a plane and smashed through my front room. I'm like, well, this is some good material here. I could work with this, but in the same hand, like I've sort of like, you know, I break my foot. You've got no idea how fed up you can get with a broken foot within the second week. Like the first week, I'm like, everybody gather around, come, let me tell you the tale of my broken foot. But the second week, I'm just like, no one ever talk about my foot again. I don't have a foot. It's dead to me, because you know I'm just so fed up of the restrictions it brings upon me. And excuse me, I think I'm a bit hay fevery this morning. But yeah, I'm like, what if it's like that? I mean, admittedly, I don't think I've ever seen somebody like, so someone's got cancer or something. I've never seen someone going, I don't want to talk about it, because I guess it's because, you know, it's very consuming in life. But I think alopecia. I think someone with alopecia would certainly not want to talk about it. You know, they'll be like, you think about it, it's a very personal thing. You don't want someone walking up to you and going, so, you're bald now, what happened? You know, and then they go, well, but I don't know. I just thought I'd share this with you today because I was like, I have a dream. It's not quite as good as Martin Luther King's dream, but it definitely still gives you a fair thing to think about. You know, if you were walking down the street and a bald woman who acted like she knew you quite well and her bald child came up to you, how would you deal with it? Would you be all right? Take care, everyone on YouTube. I'll speak to you guys soon.